Oh, hi everybody. This is Rose. So this is a black Labrador called Jim, and I thought I'd make a video about how I make this part of the nose come forward to make it look more 3D. So as you can see, it's a black Labrador. And I always print out a black and white version, but I'm actually working from this version on my tablet. Now the colours aren't very good on the tablet, so I check back with the original photograph that it's right. But if you look at the tablet, you can see there's quite a lot of purple and this kind of browns in here, and that warm colour helps to bring the muzzle forward. And underneath the black on his neck there's that bluey colour, so that also helps to send that backwards. And on the collar, the front bit of the collar is quite a warm brown. It's kind of the same colour as his eyes, so that ties in. And also there's bits of it in shade in that same brown, which is this fawn colour I've used, and then a warm brown. As you can see, I'm not very organised, quite disorganised, and I end up holding about 6 pencils. But we're going to work on this bit of the collar and the nose, and so there's increased contrast here and more detail in this bit, and that the bits that are further away I tend to blur. So this bit and that's just anything that's further away, I tend to blur in with, I can't find it, here it is. It's called a stubby blender or a tortillon. So I've got one end that's for black and one end that's for paler. And you can clean it on this, which is a little pad of glass paper. And also the orange ones. So the orange one I've used in parts of the eye colours, but also in the shading. If I thought it was a warmish colour, then I've used the orange, and I'm waiting for it to focus. So I cut my pencils, chalk pencils, with a Stanley knife, but then you can also flatten them even more on the glass paper to get a nice flat edge, which is important if you're doing hairs, but also it gives you 2 points. So if you want something really sharp, like around the eye, that black I would have sharpened in the same way. And for the hairs here, so I would use a white that's with a like a chisel edge, and you can see close up on the drawing there's a bit of orange there and blue, and actually the nose has got quite a lot of blue and purple in it as well. So what you're making is actually chromatic grey, because you're using optical illusion to get this bit to come forward. I'm going to do a little bit more. So looking back at the nose, I'm going to do more of the black in the lines there on this bit of the nose. So I'm going to choose a strong black. This one's in a chisel tip. and all the time I've got my tablet lined up so I don't have to move my head very much from my drawing, but all the time I'm referring back to the tablet. And you can see on the bit under the chin, because it's on the shadow of his muzzle, it's got quite a lot of blue in there. So even though it's obviously white fur, oh, I'm just going to have to correct that. This is the beauty of chalk, is that you can just go over and correct any mistakes. If you get the colour slightly wrong, you can correct that. Right, there you go, that's Jim. Stay tuned to see how he finishes up with his collar and everything. Okay, bye, see you soon.